lovely day!
Welcome to Flat Earth Debate Live. I'm your host Nathan Oakley, and if you are new to this channel, or you've not done so already, how dare you, then be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. If you'd like to join the community debate, then go to nathanoakley.com and check out the Flat Earth Debate forum, which you should definitely all join. If you'd like to support the channel, there is a super chat that runs alongside each of these shows while they are live. There's also a PayPal, Patreon and crypto link in the info box below the video. Most importantly, if you'd like to join the discussion, simply mute the page you are currently watching, then click the link in the info box below this video to join the panel and express your views on the nature of Earth. If you do join, please don't swear. If you do, you'll be ejected, and if you are, please don't try to rejoin the stream using sock accounts. You'll be warmly welcome back on the next stream. Please also share the show on social media. Sharing the show obviously increases the live audience, but this in turn increases the chances of a more diverse panel. So please share the show on Facebook and Twitter. And one last time, if you're new to the channel or you've not done so already, then be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. Now we are joined by Arwin, Flatsoid and 10th Man in G+. Very good to have you all.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good morning, all.
Hello, hello, hello. We're also joined by Earth-Shaped Investigator Dawn and a couple of other people whose names aren't legible to me. Good to have you all in Discord as well. Hello.
Hello.
Usual enthusiastic replies.
Hello.
Hello. Hello, Discord server. Any signs of Earth curvature?
No. Definitely
Not in South Africa.
Not in California.
Not in the
The
Netherlands.
sun went down. The sun went down last night again. So that for me, that was a sign of Earth curvature.
Sun
A
went away,
sign.
Don. Went away, Don.
Yeah, as you say, it went away, but for me, it went down behind Earth.
Just out of interest.
Yeah, it's a
Dawn,
belief.
have you actually seen any of Dirth's videos where he does sunsets from altitude? Have you ever seen those?
I saw one when he zoomed in, kind of came back almost.
Right, but it just fades out though, doesn't it? It doesn't disappear. It doesn't go down, as you put it.
Yeah, I think he did some sort of camera trickery, like sadly maybe,
Hey then,
like a lie,
moving on.
a psyop lie.
Yeah, I'm sure he did. He's probably all camera trickery. Any signs of axial rotation of the Earth post variety?
Well,
Nope.
yeah, the sun. I'm going to use the same thing. The sun went down last night, so that's a
We-
sign for me of axial rotation.
Nope, sitting still.
We would have Earth-based Coriolis if that was the case, and we don't.
Well, they report we do. Lots of people report we do.
What do
Yeah,
you
well,
see,
We
that's-
talk
Don?
about it for
What
like
do you-
2 months non-stop. So something obviously happens, doesn't it, for us to talk about it all that time?
So, Don, what do you see versus what you read in reports?
What about Coriolis?
He's not using
didn't make
Coriolis,
that
he's
up.
using the sun going down. He's using the not actual position of the sun. Like that proves
Well,
anything.
what I see in my day today does fit the reports that I read
What, the-
about what happens.
Apparent position of the sun going down, according to you.
Yeah, I'll give you a parent if you want.
Yeah,
I don't think
the
it's
apparent position of the
exactly
sun
where I see it.
going behind the apparent position of the horizon from your position. That proves absolutely nothing.
Well, to me, that's a sign of actual rotation and Earth curvature.
Oh, it's a sign. No, it's a not actual horizon and a not actual sun.
That's what you asked for. Is there any signs of? So that for me, that is a sign of both
Yeah.
things.
Well, we were
okay,
not talking about Mystic Mag signs.
Sure, I understand for you they're signs, but they're not because the horizons are not actual position and the sun is a not actual position. Hey,
But
Jose.
that just adds a little bit of nuance. It doesn't mean they're like totally made up and a delusion.
It does. It means they're not actual, but you just keep hand waving it, and we're going around in circles with you saying that that's a sign, and me pointing out why it isn't. And
I'm not going to give you
it.
the word actual. I'll give you apparent,
It's
but not
optical.
the
though.
word
Apparent,
not
yeah,
actual.
not actual,
But it's still
apparent.
actual.
Yeah, apparent,
They
not
are
actual.
still actual.
Yeah,
It's
not actual.
optical.
Meaningless. Doesn't prove
Apparent,
anything. The
but
sun's
still
not going
actual.
behind a not actual position. It doesn't mean anything, Dawn, but you just keep asserting that it does.
It's just a bit of nuance involved because of atmosphere.
Yeah, you said that as well. We heard a bit of nuance. Nuance this sunshine. It's a not actual position you're claiming it goes behind. That's not possible. It's a not actual sun that you're claiming goes behind that not actual position. Again, meaningless.
Did you just claim the sun's not actual?
Not actual position of the sun going behind the not actual position of the horizon.
Position.
Dawn. Yes.
Most people on Earth believe it isn't. Like
I
still
care
actual.
what you believe. This isn't about beliefs. I've crapped all over
Again,
it. Not
belief.
actual position. Not actual position of the sun. Not actual position where the sky meets the ground. And you claiming that something goes behind it. Meaningless drivel. Doesn't prove anything.
Do you feel like you're debunking the Earth's beliefs just by
debunking
saying
your
it's not
beliefs,
actual?
which you won't shut up about.
No, you're not. You're not. You're just saying.
No,
it's
you're just questioning whether or not I think I've debunked you. Yes, I have debunked you. Your crap assertion comes with the not actual position of the sun moving behind the not actual position of the horizon. That is the end of your assertion. Don't babble on about whether or not I believe I've smashed your beliefs. I have.
in your mind.
Not in my mind. On air for a live audience.
We can vote if you want.
Because I don't agree that it's,
I don't give a shit. It's not agree, disagree. It is a not actual position of the horizon. It is a not actual position of the sun. I don't give a crap if you agree. Keep your belief. That's all it is.
okay. You keep your belief. That's
My belief that it's a not actual position of the sun? No, that's not a belief.
that belief. Yeah.
No, not a belief. You just don't understand the difference between your belief and me crapping on it.
No.
Yeah, me crapping on it. Not actual position of the sun, moving behind the not actual position of the horizon, proves dick.
Pitching again.
Can we move on? Any scientific evidence of gravity?
Nope. What is gravity?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The phenomenon of gravity. Obviously, we haven't got scientific proof of the cause, but we have scientific
is the
proof of the
phenomenon?
phenomenon of happening.
Good question, Arwin.
What is the phenomena?
The phenomena is stuff being
No,
attracted down
not
to
a
Earth.
phenomena, the phenomena of gravity. That you
Yeah,
just
the
said.
phenomena, mass appearing to attract mass.
No, that's 100 years out of date.
Where do we see
No,
that
it's
done?
not. That is
Yeah,
the
it doesn't
phenomenon
matter
we
where
still
he
witness.
thinks he sees it. It's 100 years out of date. It's been replaced by Einsteinian bending of a conceptual medium known as
no, we don't
space-time,
witness-
which he'll now talk through while I correct him. Of course, Dawn is using rhetoric that is 100 years plus out of date. Mass doesn't attract
don't-
mass. That's not gravity. Bending of a conceptual medium known as space-time. You are wrong.
You're not listening.
Yeah, you're wrong. It's not mass attracting mass. You are wrong. That's 100 years out of date.
Right.
I told him,
Oh, yeah.
didn't you, Owen?
Right, but just the guys are also right. What you are assuming is gravity, and the phenomena for that, it's basically your folk belief because the official body of science does not support that. Just so you know.
Right. The official narrative is the bending of a conceptual medium known as space-time, giving rise to a non-force, force that you can think of as a force but isn't actually a force, called gravity. That's what it is, according to the current
That
bullshit narrative.
appears to make mass attract
Why are you
mass.
talking through everything I say, Dawn?
You'd finished.
No, I'll decide when I'm finished. It's not I'm finished because you've decided to start talking through me, because it's the only tactic Globeheads have here. We smash your shit and you talk through it. That's the only tactic you have.
You shout semantics and
No, not semantics. It's not semantics when I say apparent position of the horizon. That's a fact.
yeah,
Not semantics, a fact. You don't know the
it is
difference.
semantics.
What's semantics mean,
gravity-
Dawn?
It's words.
What does
Is
semantics
gravity a
mean?
concept?
The explanation of semantics is you changing the subject to Einstein's theory of how mass appears to attract mass,
That's not semantics.
That's not semantics.
Huh?
of mass appearing.
You don't
to
know what
attract
semantics
mass.
are.
My God.
Google it
Yes,
now.
I do.
Google
Change
it.
the subject. With,
No, you said that semantics were changing of the subject from Newtonian bullshit from 100 years plus ago to Einsteinian. That's not semantics. I'm asking you to define
yes,
semantics.
It is semantics. You use
No, not the subject matter. The word. What does semantics mean, Dawn?
gravity. This is semantics,
Just talking
dude.
through
I'm not
me.
dumb.
I'm not going to continue to have a conversation where every time I try and conclude a sentence, you start talking, Dawn. That's your last chance. Do it again. You're just going to be removed from the conversation. I'd like you to define the word semantics, please, Dawn.
I'm not going to Google
This
it.
is for your own benefit, Don.
I haven't finished talking. You're disputing the terms and meanings of what gravity is, of the theories. That is semantics.
Yeah, now we want you to define that word.
Defining it. That's not semantics.
Yeah, your defense is the word semantics.
Your
And we want to know
behavior
what
with
that
words and
word.
language.
There you go again. You're talking while I'm talking, Dawn.
I hadn't finished, Nathan.
What, you've said the same shit 3 times. It's semantics. That's your defense. We're asking what the word means, and you won't tell us. You just tell us again that it's semantics, our argument. What does semantics mean, Dawn?
It's when you confuse people with the meanings and terms of words by switching them about.
Incorrect. Semantics means words and their meanings. Defining thereof would be the Socratic method. Semantics is words and their meanings. So we are discussing words and their meanings. In this instance, the semantics of gravity.
Exactly what I said.
Yeah, semantics means words and their meanings. And you're saying, oh, all that means is words and their meanings. Oh, well, that's not important. Let's just make them up and not define them. Because who gives a crap about the semantics? What the fucking words mean that you're using?
You confusing people about...
No, you're using the word semantics, meaning words and their meanings, as a defense. Oh, you saying it's not it is Einsteinian rather than Newtonian. It's just words and their meanings. That's your defense. Just words and their meanings. Yeah, I'm smashing you with words and their meanings.
Arwen asked about the phenomenon of gravity we witness.
Right,
You
and then I
used a
responded
semantic
to that
argument
by
to
sharing with
divert-
you that it is your personal folk belief because it's not supported by the body of science.
It is,
Just
Arwen.
so you know.
Why do you believe
How do I
in the
know?
conceptual
I've looked in the body of
midway?
science, and I've
One
heard people
at a
talk
time.
about it for 2 years.
Don, I just posted.
Hold on, 10th man. Just Arwen and Dawn.
Yep,
So,
we've been talking about it for 2 years. We've been talking about every possible angle to gravity and the history of it, how it was,
Yep.
everything. Yeah, okay, that doesn't make it a viable thing. Because
It is a viable thing. I'm just talking about the phenomenon.
Newton himself did not claim a hypothesis for gravity. Okay, officially, you can still find that back if you're gonna look for it, for that quote.
Dude, you can't debunk gravity. You can't.
And
it
beside that,
happens. We've
the
got a name
official
for it. We're
narrative.
looking
Hold on,
into the
Arwen.
cause.
Hold on a second, Darwin. Sorry, Dawn. Go on then. What was your interruption? Let's see how worthwhile that complete rumpusing was. Hold on, Arwen.
You and Arwen and none of the flat earthers can debunk gravity. It's a thing that happens. It's a phenomenon. We've got a word for it. We're trying to work out the cause. There's nothing you can do about that.
So your interruption of Arwen was to say you can't debunk this while he's in the middle of debunking it. So essentially what you're doing is preventing his debunking reaching the air by telling the audience he can't debunk it.
Yes, I'm just reminding everybody.
Why don't you shut your fucking mouth, Dawn? That's what you can do. He's talking. Now shut your mouth. This is your last warning.
Okay, Dawn, please. I understand. I understand where you're coming from, but I'm just trying to enlighten you that you are now going as a separatist heliocentrist by your own belief that gravity is Newtonian and that is a legitimate part of the globe model. That is what you are now presuming, and with that, you are separated from the official narrative. So you are now dealing in your own personal beliefs as to the model of the globe Earth. I'm just telling you.
That's not what I'm doing. I understand some of Newtonian mechanics are still used. Einstein is the theory of how it happens.
No, it's not a theory. It's bullshit made-up narrative. It's not a theory. It's not a scientific theory. We've asked for scientific evidence of gravity, and you've just told us that Einstein's got a theory. No, he hasn't.
I told you I had scientific evidence of the phenomenon of gravity, not the cause. I told you this at the beginning.
Scientific evidence.
Any gravity that is official.
Let me get it straight. You don't need scientific evidence of a phenomena. That's nonsense. Scientific evidence would be a validated cause of the phenomena.
No, we can have scientific evidence of a phenomena.
You can't have scientific evidence of a phenomena. It's just a phenomena, something happening. That doesn't require any scientific validation. I can just witness any phenomena ever, and it doesn't need any scientific validation whatsoever. Scientific evidence would be a validated cause of the phenomena. validated by systematic experimentation based on a hypothesis that had an assumed cause of the effect being the phenomena that you don't need scientific validation for. You need to validate the cause of the phenomena. That would be scientific evidence, not a phenomena.
You're doing semantics again. Gravity has...
What, words and their meanings? Yeah, the word phenomena would be half a hypothesis, the dependent variable in the hypothesis. It's not scientific evidence to have a phenomena. That doesn't even factor into scientific evidence. It's merely the dependent variable that you're going to try and validate the cause of. It's not scientific evidence to have a phenomena.
Why don't you put the cause of gravity in your question when you ask it instead
The
of...
cause isn't established, you stupid dick. That's why you don't have scientific evidence. That's what I've just explained, literally 20 seconds ago. To have scientific evidence is to have the cause established by means of systematic experimentation based on a hypothesis. A hypothesis being the thing that establishes your presumed cause of the effect being the phenomena.
This is all semantic.
Just words and their meanings, smashing my stupid shit that I'm asserting. Yeah, we're demolishing you with words and their meanings. That's correct. Semantics, yes.
No, I'm using it in the context as meaningless semantic.
Meaningless semantics mean that's a contradiction in terms. Meaningless words and their meanings. Meaningless words and their meanings is a contradiction in terms. You're a complete retard, Dawn.
You're confusing people with semantics. That's what you're doing.
Semantics
Look,
means
if
their
you can't
meanings.
agree
And you're
upon
saying
words,
the meaningless
then-
meanings of words. That's what you're saying. The meaningless meanings. It's a contradiction in terms.
You're doing it again. You're doing it again.
What, making you look stupid?
May I interject? Just take 2 minutes, Tom. Okay, Tom.
Yeah.
Look, if you can't agree upon the meaning of words, then communication has no meaning. If you can't agree upon what you're talking about, then people will just start spouting words against one another, and they will potentially totally misunderstand one another and not progress anything.
Absolutely
Any
spot on.
understanding.
Correct. It's called the Socratic method.
Oh, and tell that to Nathan Oakley.
Tell what?
What
We need to agree on terms, words and their meanings. We need to agree on the semantics.
Tell that to Nathan
You don't like
Oakley, who
semantics,
lies
don't
about
you?
the
Be
meaning of
arguing
words
semantics
every
for the
day.
past 10 minutes, brother. Like, for real, you
Good
finish
point,
it.
Jose. Exactly, Jose. Well said. You've been arguing semantics for the last 10 minutes, Dawn.
It's hilarious.
Well, you do, Nathan. That's why I come here, to bring it up and tell people that this is nothing but semantics.
Just nothing but words and their meanings. Wow, great
Like
argument.
semantic
Excellent
is a
defense.
dirty word. Weird.
Look, we can firmly establish, given that Dawn has already admitted they don't have a cause for
People
gravity,
with them.
that they don't have scientific evidence, which is what we're asking for in this question. So let's move
Of
on.
the cause of gravity. But you didn't say cause, did you? You just said gravity.
I said the scientific evidence of gravity. Now he's just managed to demonstrate that he hasn't got the vaguest clue what that means either. He doesn't know what scientific evidence is, although we had already established that, given that he thought having a phenomena gave him scientific evidence of his gravity, and declaring that he doesn't know the cause, because that bit sunk in when George Musa said it, presumably, Dawn.
What? Fuck off.
That you don't have a cause.
George. What you
What?
should have said
What?
was you want to know scientific evidence of the cause of gravity.
Yeah, that is scientific evidence, you stupid dingbat. To establish the cause of the phenomena, not that you have a phenomena. The phenomena is claimed to be the bending of a conceptual medium, not something that happens in actuality, but a conceptual medium bending. So you're never going to show me a phenomena, that's just bullshit. Not that you'd ever comprehend or understand what I've just said. But establishing the cause is scientific evidence.
You didn't ask for a cause, though, did you?
I asked for scientific evidence, that would be an established cause.
No.
Yeah. Let's move on. Any evidence of the distance to the sun?
Nope.
Nope.
No confirmed measured distance to the sun. Presuppositions, though, based on stellar assumptions.
Can't measure it if it's just apparent, though, can you? So
Can't measure
it's a
what,
meaningless
sorry?
question for you guys.
You're muttering now, Dawn. Make your claim nice and clear.
You can't
Share your
measure the
pain.
distance if it's only an apparent sun, can you, Nathan? So
That's
why
a
would
good
you
point,
ask?
Dawn. That was my point
That's
earlier, now,
correct.
wasn't it?
So it's a meaningless trick question again.
Oh no, they
Yeah.
assert that there's 96 million miles between us and it, Dawn. So, given that it's a meaningless question according to you, why do you think that your side of the argument answers it with a value? I love these stone cold silences.
There is evidence online if you
Oh, suddenly now I've pointed out that your fundy side of the argument does have a value. Suddenly there's evidence. Unbelievable.
Nathan,
What a
Nathan, you
complete
just
bonehead.
reminded him that there is official narrative. And that reminded him, like, yeah, there is something online.
Oh, and you're so deluded. You keep projecting.
Oh, shut up, Dawn. Any evidence that you can have gas pressure without a container for all the fundamentalist religious zealots who believe they live on a sphere in a vacuum called outer space?
Nope.
Sorry, what was that last one? Because probably, yeah, there probably is evidence of it.
Excellent.
What was it?
Any evidence that
That's
you can
hilarious,
have
Dan. You're
gas pressure
freaking
without a
crazy.
container?
Oh, yeah, of course. Here on Earth, in your house, outside, open the window. Have a look.
What, so you're saying your fundamentalist religious belief of a violation of the second law of thermodynamics where the sky is a vacuum is evidence that the sky is a vacuum? Circular reasoning, in
What a
other words.
load of preachy bullshit. No, that's semantics, what you just...
It's called circular reasoning. It's not semantics, it's called a logical fallacy. Circular reasoning. You believe the sky is a vacuum, and to prove your belief, you tell me to point at the sky, which you believe is a vacuum.
Nathan, living in a gas pressure system and never finding a container is evidence of being in a gas pressure system with no container.
No, it isn't. That's called circular reasoning, because it's a violation of a natural law. To have pressure, you must press on something. To assert that because you haven't found the thing it's pressing on means that it's not pressing on anything is absolutely ludicrous.
To assert that it has to press on something when you're
Yeah, because it's pressure. Yeah.
really ludicrous.
It's clues in
and
the name.
dishonest.
The clues in the name, Dawn.
You haven't
Pressure?
found it though, have you? So it's
Pressing,
absurd to
pressure?
assume it.
No? Not computing? Not...
You haven't found the container, Nathan.
doesn't
you
make any
lot.
difference. It doesn't mean that the sky is an endless vacuum, because that would logically compute that the gas that we're breathing could disperse into that vacuum, but isn't.
You haven't found the container you're asserting.
It makes no difference whether or not I found a container. I don't know what the sky is. But you would assert that it's a vacuum. Well, gas is trying to expand in all directions, debunking the notion that it's a vacuum. The second law of thermodynamics and entropy would dictate that if it was a vacuum, the gas would fill the space. Without the container, there can be no pressure. Conspiracy Cats, 2019.
I don't care about your beliefs, Nathan. You have to prove
Not mine. Why'd you say Nathan? Conspiracy Cats, 2019. Without the container, there can be no pressure.
Do you think I give a fuck what Conspiracy Cat said?
Well, I don't care whether or not you like it. That's what he's declaring. It's backing my argument. It's a fact. Without the container, there can be no pressure.
I don't give a fuck what he says.
Well, you're just declaring that the sky is a vacuum. And because you haven't found the container, Nathan, that means the sky is a vacuum. Which pisses in the face of the second law of thermodynamics.
Measure the gradient all the way up into space, dude. It's all online evidence.
A gradient all the way up to space. What's the top of the gradient going to press upon? An endless, never-expanding vacuum?
A gradient up in...
No. What's the gradient pressing on at the top?
Nothing, dude.
Oh, it can't do that. That violates a law of nature called the second law of thermodynamics. Entropy would take hold. Entropy would increase. The gas would fill the space. It doesn't just reach a vacuum and decide to stop. It would expand continuously in all directions and fill the available volume that it has available to it.
No, gravity stops it doing that.
Gravity is the bending of a conceptual medium. There is no scientific evidence of gravity. A conceptual medium bending won't violate a law of nature known as entropy.
It makes mass attract mass.
Mass doesn't
Yeah, that's
attract
your
mass.
belief.
That's 100
That's not
years
your
out of date. It's like we haven't spoken to him. Nothing we say will ever sink in.
No, dude. It's
No, dude.
Right, so
It's
your-
100
your
years out of
folk
date. Mass isn't
belief in
attracting mass.
gravity is what is keeping the gas pressure to the ball with the outer space out there, and none of it, you have any proof for it. It's a
Quote.
very elaborate belief system based on nothing.
He's saying gravity holds the gas. Quote, George Musa, 2019, gravity is not a force.
It still makes mass.
No, it doesn't. It's not a force. You saying you know better than astrophysicist monkey George Musa?
You don't need a force, Nathan, for stuff to be attracted to stuff.
Oh, really? Oh, well, how does it do it then? By magic?
By bending space-time.
Bending space-time, that's a conceptual medium. It doesn't do anything. That's absolutely ludicrous.
Yeah. Could be interesting to figure out how the bending of time or space would cause somehow directional acceleration locally in some way. I don't even see how that connects. How can the two line up?
Demonstrations of it online, Owen.
It's like comparing oranges to pears.
You can't bend a concept.
It's a theory. It's a theory of.
It's not a scientific theory. Yeah, you want to call it a colloquial Mystic Meg theory. Scientific theories are the result of an established cause through systematic experimentation being put forth potentially with other established causes to produce something called a scientific theory based on empirical results. This is not that. This is the bending of a concept.
Okay.
Hello.
Hello, Ranty.
Hello, everyone.
Can I just?
I just called in. I just wanted to know how much you're paying Dawn to be this stupid every week.
How much I'm paying him? I'm joking, right? He's really annoying me.
You pay him. You have to pay this guy. You can't just keep coming in and saying the same thing. He like gives you a show every time because you just batter on every time.
Oh, this is his therapy.
Bloody right, if you pay me being a masochist.
I'll become a flat earther if you pay me.
Right.
I'm not a masochist.
But the high energy of a communication level that we provide feels to him almost like people are communicating that actually care. And in his general life, he probably doesn't have that as much.
Right.
Shout out to Don. He's VIP baller over here.
Nathan has to be paid. I don't believe that Nathan's not paying him for this.
Paying him for what?
What?
And you just
you have to pay him to come in and get battered every week.
Oh,
Nathan has kids. You really think he would pay money to Don that he could give to his own kid?
Yeah, he has to pay. He's like a stooge, isn't he? He's like a stooge. Dawn is just like the stooge that you batter every show. He's like, he can't just come in and be this stupid all the time, sure.
They mute us, don't they? They mute me.
No, Dawn.
You overestimate humanity, Ranty.
It's because we're talking about you. Doesn't mean I've muted you. Why is it everyone automatically...
You do mute me a lot, Nathan, though. When you speak and go on your rants, I'm muted.
What do you mean while I'm talking and you talk through me, you mean? I have to shut you up because I'm in the middle of a sentence and you've decided to start talking like you're doing now.
You mute me.
Yeah, listen to what I reply and see if you talk through me.
Good morning, people.
So, hey, chocolate. So, yeah, I'm in the middle of a sentence and suddenly you're talking. Well, I'm going to stop that happening, Dawn. You think you can just continually interrupt me and stop what I've said being heard? You got another thing coming. So, no, I don't let you constantly interrupt me.
You do that to me, though. It's just how I end up speaking to you.
I
because you
interrupt
me.
the guests on my show, do I? To keep control of my show while I run my show for my audience. That's right, Dawn. Like now, I'll do whatever I like. I'll keep talking because it's my audience and my show. And I'll keep control of it. Thank you very much.
Did you know the other Globers are boycotting you?
I couldn't give two shits. Boycotting me. I'm raping their religion on a daily basis.
Oh, yeah. In your mind, you are, yeah.
Who is? I haven't heard
They
of
think you're retarded. They think you're a full retard liar.
Oh, they think I'm stupid, do they? Oh, that's terribly upsetting.
Making a fucking fool of yourself.
Yeah, that's terribly upsetting that they think I'm stupid.
Oh no!
I haven't heard of this boycott.
It would be if you went out in public and saw them, I think.
What are you talking about? I've been out in public talking about this subject loads. There's a whole playlist on my channel of where I've arranged meetups and met people.
Would you be able to come into Norwich and preaching your flat earth?
Norwich?
Yeah. I can send loads of people down for you to rape their religion.
Do it on a show for the public. It's been... What are you talking about? There's almost 200 people watching right now.
No, I'm saying live. You could come to
This
Norwich
is live.
and say this to people's face.
We are live.
Try and
It's
rate
called
their
live.
religion.
It's called live when 200 people are watching at this moment. That's called live, you idiot.
I mean face to face. You know what I mean?
Oh, face to face.
I've done plenty of face-to-face
Nathan
meetings,
is so
Dawn.
good at
Your
raping
point's
religion.
falling
Why?
apart.
Because you
Face
can't
to face.
destroy his arguments online. You can't do that.
Doesn't
So you
dare
gotta
do this
what?
face to
You gotta
face.
meet him up face to face.
I
Show
got
how
an
much of a
interesting
man you
point.
are.
I said, see
I
if
got an
it's
interesting point.
upsetting
Don,
for
you give
him
me
to
a
be
chance.
called
I
retarded.
want
in
your
public.
opinion on this, Don. I want your opinion on this because you were talking about the gravity and the bending of space-time. I want to hear your opinion on this because to me personally, it's ridiculous and it's a globe explanation. So I'm gonna quote. It's just a small paragraph. All our lives, we have been taught to measure things in 3 dimensions, but Einstein adds a 4th. Wait for it. I'm scrolling there. All right. He says there is not only right and left, up and down, backward and forward, but also sooner and later, the 4th dimension, listen to this, without which nothing in the universe can be measured or described. This theory has opened an unlimited field for speculations, dreams, and fantasies. Let our imagination again carry us into space. I mentioned this to them, and they felt so compelled to come in and do an intervention with me and tell me all this. Like, no, but this is what it means. But it's just so telling that this is just the 4th dimension. This is the most compelling sentence, which nothing in the universe can be measured or described. What do you think about this, Don, when you hear these words?
To me, it's quite exoteric, but I think it could be an explanation of how mass
It's quite
moves
nuanced, right, Don? It's quite nuanced.
It's kind of mystic and exoteric how he's explaining it, but I believe time does affect movement of mass in space. Why would it not?
Because it's a
our
concept.
measurement.
Because it's a concept.
Time.
It's a concept,
Can you
Dawn.
bend an inch? Can you bend a centimeter?
You can bend the fabric of space, apparently,
So,
in this theory.
So, Dawn, like literally, you would rather believe that something is falling because Earth's mass
let me tell you,
is
I don't
bending
necessarily
time.
believe Einstein's theory. I just tell you that's the theory that people go by. I believe mass attracts mass because God made it that way. That's what I believe.
But why do you believe that when that was a theory that was replaced by another theory? So why do you choose the old theory
on a daily basis? That's the
he observes it on a daily basis.
But there's no observation of that in real life. Where does mass attract mass in reality, Don?
Mass of the Earth, big mass attracting little mass. Not just any mass being attracted to any mass. I'd make a leap of faith that's what happens.
So it's just things fall down.
Oh no, hold on. He's just made his confession.
Some things go up.
Hold on, Chocolate. He just said, I take a leap of faith.
Yeah,
you did. I didn't hear that.
Of course I do. That's how we understand things. We take in information.
I don't actually class that.
We stop our research if there's too much more information we're not interested in. Then we make a leap of faith and decide what to believe.
No, that's fair enough. I wouldn't call that zealotry.
No, human is the word, not fundy.
I'm backing you, Dawn. That's not zealotry. That's him accepting that he's got a belief.
It's faith. It's
faith.
Trust.
Right. Trust. Yeah. These are great words. Here on Flat Earth Debate, we use words like science and empiricism.
Yeah, and you get them wrong.
You use words like faith and trust and belief. Isn't that interesting?
Yeah, and I use those words honestly every time I use them.
Yeah, because it's a religion you have,
okay,
Dawn.
But the thing is,
it's not a religion. No, I don't worship the heliocentric model.
You've got faith and belief.
If we're starting from, the beginning.
It's a belief and trust in the cosmology model. That's all it is.
Why would we need anything more than things fall down? I mean,
because
can't
some people want to know why.
Some people
want to know the reason why. Then maybe explain how the moon moves. How
Earth rotates.
Right,
your religion doesn't have that.
Yeah, we'd have to reach the moon. We'd have to sample the Earth. We have to measure how big the Earth is. So it is a really big leap of faith to think that it's mass attracts mass as opposed to things fall down until we can
it is, yeah,
measure
but then
more.
After you do the science over 1,000 years, 2,000 years, and you work out there's a phenomenon and it accelerates like this, and this thing happens and that thing happens. Then you invent vacuum chambers, you study it more. Then you go into space, you study it more.
Well, then, Don, why
eventually you get an understanding.
Hold on. Everyone in G+, just let Earth-Shaped Investigator and Dawn have the conversation for the now. Thank you.
Cheers.
Yeah, I mean, with space and all that, even if you grant them that is space, it's like, it's been very disappointing that, what has NASA really done? They haven't even measured the distance to the sun properly. Have they really sent a probe around the sun?
I don't know about the probe. They do. People do claim to have measured the distance properly. Yeah, most people agree on that.
How have they measured that? I actually haven't looked into
triangulation of other planets based on closer and closer celestial bodies, and an assumption of how the Earth's shaped.
How did you establish the distance to those
Hold on, Owen. Look, he knows his stuff, and he knows where the assumption is, and he's declaring it. So far, so good.
Everything's based on an assumption before. You assume you were correct in your last understanding of the other thing. You add it into the next thing. You make little leaps of faith along the way. Everyone else does it. They come to the same conclusion. The leaps of faith get turned into knowledge. And then you teach the masses. The masses that can't do all of this themselves, they just stick with the leaps of faith and trust in clever people.
Yeah, but the leaps of faith and the chain of trust is really, it hasn't really benefited us, I mean, we've still got the guys in polo shirts flipping around in the so-called space station. Humans, I mean, even after the space shuttle, America hasn't been able to get up there. SpaceX keeps making promises.
I think
we haven't drilled further than 8 miles.
It does cost a lot of money.
It's just not good enough.
He's nearly there, Dawn. He's nearly there. Just let him make his conclusions.
Sorry, I can't.
It's just not good enough.
Yeah,
that's why I want to withdraw that faith from them, or withdraw any belief, because I don't know. They're just
you don't have to have faith in NASA. Oh, he can't even hear me. Hello.
No, sorry, I was muted. Sorry, I was deafened. Sorry about that. Go on.
I just kept waiting for you to finish. Yeah, you cannot be satisfied in NASA agencies and think it costs too much money. They haven't really done what I'd like to do with the technology, even if it is real. Maybe some of it's a lie, but I mean, they're still doing it and still taking your money. And other people do believe in it. You don't have to abandon the whole cosmology from all astronomy just because you've lost faith in the presentation from the space agencies.
Disclaimer, Don doesn't represent me.
No. Dawn's doing an exceptionally good job of describing the reality of being on the globe side of the argument. He's describing the religion quite eloquently. How you have to put faith in their presuppositions. It's quite...
I'm not part of the... Some of the people on the globe model, they do worship the non-God. Everything from nothing, cosmic accident. But most people just believe it as a structure and physical nature. It's not a religion. They don't worship the creation and how it is like that. So calling it religion only works for some people, really.
Based on belief, trust, and faith. What more do you want?
Yeah, but the religion definition needs a worship as well. And sometimes a church, but obviously you can use Science Museum as a church.
Some of these people believe that they came from nothing.
Yeah,
nothing that created an explosion that created everything.
That is religious. That's religious to me in the same way.
But that's the origins of the system. Whether or not you have the worship of the origins is irrelevant. Whether or not you worship the sun at the centre of the system is irrelevant. It is a religion. It's based on faith.
Yeah, faith-based system. I think religion is an extra word that you can only apply to people if they worship. I don't mind
removing it if it offends you. It is your faith. This is your faith. Like Christians have got faith. You have faith in the heliocentric model.
But I would say, I would argue that you have faith on your ideals about Earth as well, in the same way.
Which ideal would that be then?
But the abandonment of this one and everything that you replace it with.
What have I replaced it with?
Arguments you replace it with.
What's the replacement?
The observations.
Give me an example.
It's flat. That is a belief system and a religion.
It's not a belief system. It's obviously and observably flat.
I see it because it's there. These words are like dogma. This is your religion.
You see me saying I see something because it is there as dogma.
Yeah. That's the dogma of how you mock the other religion.
Let me get it straight. You say the abandonment of your religion is us being religious, and me saying I see something is dogma. Correct?
Yeah. I've got more examples.
No problem. Okay. Nobody with eyes, ears, or a brain, Dawn, will agree with you. But fine, I'm glad it's been nicely, concisely dedicated to air, apart from this bit where you're talking, of course, because I'm talking. So yes, I'm glad you've dedicated... That's still you starting to talk, isn't it, Dawn? You're not really that good with subtlety. I'm not being subtle, by the way. That was sarcasm. Please don't interrupt
You're doing
me,
awful, Don. You're doing awful, Don. And it's so awful that it's like really good, man.
Au contraire, Jose. He's doing exceptionally well. Ordinarily, most fundies who come here, which I've already said I don't class Dawn as one, he's not being a zealot. He's saying he accepts that it's his faith.
Do you want me to give another example of your dogmatic faith?
Not really. You haven't given me any examples. You've said you say it's flat, and you saying you see something because it's there is dogmatic. No, it's just seeing things. That's just called. I call that vision.
You're just going to keep
I call that vision.
And you don't want to hear any examples about yours.
Dawn, I call that vision. You call it dogma.
So we both think each other are religious.
No, I see something, and you say me pointing out that I see something is dogma, because I haven't asserted that it's a slightly looming non-standard refraction hyena holographic projection of, say, a lighthouse coming from beyond, an Earth curve that's been reified into existence with a begging the question, proof of nothing perspective hijacking curve calculator. Because I don't do that, you say me just simply saying I see that lighthouse is dogma, because it goes against your belief and faith.
All of that stuff you just said is dogma.
It's not dogma. I've pointed out that you reify a curve into the horizon that is apparent. You've done it twice on the show. And in so doing, you use a begging the question proof of nothing perspective hijacking curve calculator to assert that something I say I just see, in this instance say a lighthouse, is actually just a lighthouse. Whereas you say it's a slightly looming, non-standard refraction, hyena holographic projection of a lighthouse from beyond an Earth curve that you've reified from the horizon that's an apparent position using a begging the question proof of nothing perspective hijacking curve calculator. Now, me saying I don't want to do that and just saying I see it, according to you, is dogma.
I don't say any of that. You made that up in a religious way about my religion. Like, it's fear-mongering.
Not fear-mongering. You've explained how you believe the presuppositions that your priests gave you. You take your leap of faith, in your own words, put your trust in the people who are smarter than you, and what they have come up with is a reified Earth curve edge, otherwise known as the apparent position where the sky meets the ground, called the horizon. An apparent location, which they use as an actual location, claimed to be Earth's sphere edge. When using that sphere edge, they claim that anything in the distance beyond that diffraction limit, where in fact the limitations of your eye or any lens used to observe something can't resolve the data that it's seeing at that distance, they say that's actually the edge of a sphere, and things are disappearing behind it, based on mathematics that assume a radius that you've said that you're happy to take a leap of faith in that regard. Now, all of this crap is stuff you've just told us. I ignore all of it and just say I see a lighthouse. But that apparently is dogma.
90% of that is untrue.
What? Which bit? Then begging the question, proof of nothing, perspective hijacking, curve calculator that reifies the horizon into the leading edge of an Earth curve that you have taken an R value to will into existence using the mathematics and this apparent location. Now, that's absolutely 100% accurate and true. The calculator does hijack perspective and call it Earth curve, and it does use the apparent position where the sky meets the ground to be a reified edge of a sphere to claim that things are disappearing over, like you did with the not actual position of the sun, Dawn.
No, this is not true.
That's absolutely true. You also are saying that when I don't say a lighthouse I can see is a slightly looming non-standard refraction hyena holographic projection of a lighthouse from beyond an Earth curve that's been reified into existence using a mathematic calculator that begs the question of an R value and turns an apparent position into a leading edge of a sphere. Because I don't say it's a hologram from beyond Earth curve, and I just say I see a lighthouse, you say I'm a dogmatist.
You just preached dogma round and round 3 times. I'm now going to leave. You're a lying cunt.
Okay, go on then. Leave. Any evidence of the R value? Earth radius?
No.
No.
No. Any evidence of a self-perpetuating molten iron core at the centre of a presupposed spherical Earth?
Nope.
No.
No.
Miss any, or is that the conclusion of the housekeeping?
I think that's it.
Well, that concludes the housekeeping.
Well, it's interesting that Don is still using Newtonian mass attracts mass, and I posted in Discourse Newton's statement that Anthony put up several times already, and I'm sure Don has seen, where Newton says, "Don't put that on me."
Just like to give Dawn credit where credit's due. There was a lot of different confessions from Dawn that were cognitively squared circles, if you will. He accepts that it's a belief, leap of faith, trusting those who are deemed more intelligent. All that stuff was just confessed by Dawn, and I give him kudos for it.
Actors and agents everywhere. Shout out to Pichet. Aristarchus!
Ah, Aristarchus. The originator of the sphere-Earth presupposition. Epic.
But the decapitated
So
tree.
why do you think Dawn just accepts leaps of faith?
He justified it by saying those who are more intelligent that have worked it out on his behalf are trustworthy, as far as he's concerned. That was his justification.
He's conceded to not being able to figure it out himself.
He uses that as a way to, just be fanatical about his religion. And he's uncompromising. He that's the way I see it. It's a blind belief.
At least he admits it.
In order to maintain his religion.
Yeah, but he admits that.
That's zealotry.
It is zealotry, but by the same token, when I use the word zealotry, I'm talking about the people who won't accept it.
Oh, fair enough.
I'm probably incorrect.
Dawn has said numerous times that for him it's a belief. That's the only thing that I'll give him, other than a lot of the other ballers, is that he'll say that. It's a belief. I don't actually have any proof for it, but people smarter than me and the television and everything tells me that it is, and I choose to believe it because it's easier and it makes more sense to me. So that's the only reason I'll give Dawn, credit for what. But.
Well, it's a similar attitude to my wife in general, if I'm honest. That's the attitude she takes, almost identical.
Right. And I would assume it's like that for a lot of people. It's just easier to not even have these thoughts going in your head thinking about this flat earth shit. It's just easier. You watch TV, you see a ball, a spinning ball in a vacuum with water on it, and you choose to believe that that's your home. That's fine. That's not what you experience. So when people come up against this flat earth thing, I don't understand why it's such a travesty. Because it's not like you're actually experiencing this floating ball, magical water ball in a vacuum. You experience the Earth is flat and stationary. But it's the idea that something is being stolen from you, I think, is what bothers people. Now, what are they having stolen? I'm not sure, because, again, you don't experience that world that they show you in the movies. So for me, that's what's confusing.
Pride. That's what's being taken away. Nobody wants to think they've been tricked.
Yeah, you're right. Right about that.
On the other hand, if everyone took the same apathetic view as Dawn, it would only take the people in charge to say, well, actually, it's flat. And they go, oh, right, okay. That's all it'd be a take, Fortunately, not everyone.
Yeah. It would just be that easy. Because Donald said it himself. He said it. You know, if I saw it on television and the people that I trust, you know, came out and told us it was flat, yeah, sure, it's flat.
I just want to congratulate you, Nathan, on perhaps the biggest ass whooping Dawn's ever received on today's show. That was
Biggest what? Biggest what?
Ass whooping.
Yeah, he's not getting paid to come here to take an ass beating, nor do I want my blood pressure raising to the point that he raises it, in case you're about to worm that in, which I suspect you were.
No, not at all. But I was actually going to say that you actually destroyed him, so well done.
Sam Hine says, this super chat is brought to you by Mong Patrol. Well, I would like to say a big shout out to Mong Patrol for supporting the Sam Hine super chat. Thank you very much for your support.
Shout out to Mong Patrol.
Final thoughts from me. I gotta get out of here. Thank you. I'm proud of myself that I didn't come in like a dick today. I didn't come in like a dick today. I was alright. I came in for the audio because a little better than YouTube. And thank you, Nathan, for not
just
yelling
before you
at me
go,
and putting me in the spot.
you got a bit of kudos the other day just before you drop. So we were discussing you in terms of the benefits that you offer with your show. So that was being discussed, and we were saying, I know you've just come in and said I'm not being a dick, but we were saying kind of, it's a shame he's a bit of a dick occasionally, because it'd be nice to support Jose, but he's a bit of a dick. But there you go, just so you know. You were very nice today. Thank you, Jose. It's been a pleasure having you.
No problem. Yeah, I mean, I had a little time.
Take it easy.
A little time today, so I decided to come in the hangout. Better audio for you.
It's lovely having you, Jose. Thank you.
Right, I'm getting out of here.
Can I throw something in before you guys, before the live show ends?
Yeah, of course you can.
I guess you can see my screen. I won't play it, but I'll share it in the Discord if they want it. But
sorry, just before you start, can you make it full screen?
Oh, yeah, okay, hang on. This is a guy that's putting pretty much a flat, empty, Ziploc bag into a vacuum chamber. Now, we would all agree that the Ziploc bag has mass or weight, so to speak. I'm not defining mass, I'm just trying to use the rhetoric inside here. There's very, very, very little gas, obviously, inside this Ziploc bag, okay? What do you guys think will happen when he puts starts to put a vacuum in this?
I would imagine that
chamber.
If it's well sealed, the remaining gas that is in the Ziploc bag, although it appears to be empty, would want to expand, right?
Right. Well, here I'll jump straight to that point.
Yeah.
So he pretty much Now we got the Ziploc bag that has mass that should be being pulled on by so-called gravity. You have the particles inside of that bag that's also affected by gravity. But it seems like the kinetic energy inside the gas overcomes those two things. Would you agree?
I'm following you so far.
It seems like the gas is trying to fill the available volume, right?
Right.
That's a lot of expansion there. A lot.
Exactly. So
incredible.
So I mean, yeah, there's very little gas in there, but it's enough to. It doesn't pop. I don't think it pops. I don't think it goes to that point, but you can see. Oh, I see. Where's it at? That's pretty much full expansion. So there's very little gas, and it completely expands to fill that Ziploc bag, take it to its full volume. So if mass is attracting mass, so to speak, shouldn't the heavy bag overcome the mass of the gas particles, so to speak?
Mass doesn't attract mass.
Wouldn't you think so?
Gravity's not a force.
I know.
Even if it was, it wouldn't be overcoming entropy.
Exactly. Okay.
And either way, gas isn't going to be affected by gravity, even if it was real.
Almost took the words out of my mouth. Chocolate, precisely.
I just thought this was interesting because I was actually, I don't know if you guys saw that I shared the spacesuit, and actually Buzz Aldrin or Armstrong. I'm sorry, is it Armstrong or Buzz? I can't remember which one it was. But has a zipper in his crotch, and I did do a little bit more digging.
One of those vacuum seal zippers.
Exactly. And somebody told me that it's like a Ziploc bag. I'll say, okay, well, here's a Ziploc bag. It is containing pressure, but there's very little gas pressure in there. Well, the suit itself would have to maintain a 14.7 psi, the atmosphere inside the suit. So I would think that the zipper might rupture or seal or leak or something. And obviously, being in your crotch, that's the most. If you're walking, that would be the most friction feeling.
No. It's waterproof. That's all they needed.
It's waterproof. Okay.
What waterproof zippers?
Right.
Maybe it's both. I mean, they were NASA. They were fresh in '69. Maybe they had waterproof and vacuum-proof zippers.
But yeah, I mean, my pants. I wear my pants out like wearing them all the time. They tend to wear out in the crotch. The zipper for using the bathroom and all that stuff is in the crotch, and that would be the one place on the whole suit where a seal would be hard to maintain. You would think.
Based on this, Paul, Buzz Aldrin would look like Michelin Man.
Well, that's another issue altogether. Yeah, but yeah. That's all. Comments, queries are welcome after this point. I know the show's about to end.
The guys in the ISS, they wear diapers when they're doing their spacewalks.
Well, and I did look that up. They do. There was this adhesive bag that the Apollo astronauts would have to stick on their butt, and they would have to stick their finger. They literally would have to stick their finger into that to get the poop to come off of their butt, and then put it in the bag. I'm serious. I'm dead serious. Look it up. It's not. This is not. I mean, literally, it's crazy.
Science, baby.
It's hilarious.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So he had to stick his finger up his butt to get his poop out.
Yeah, you didn't need to reiterate it, Paul. Thank you.
That's got to be the crappiest defense I've ever heard.
Dirty job. Somebody got to do it.
And with that, I'm going to say, if you are watching this and not entirely repulsed, then stay tuned if you're watching on the Nathan Oakley premiering stream. However, if you're watching this live on Nathan Oakley 1980, probably for the best. This is where we bid you farewell. A huge, massive, enormous thank you to all of you smashed the super chat, liked, commented, shared, subscribed, and all that good stuff. Be sure to check out nathanoakley.com and the Flat Earth Debate Forum to keep up to date with the community debate. A massive thank you to all of today's debating panel. Well, sort of, apart from the ending, for making this debate possible. I've been Nathan Oakley. Stay tuned if you're watching on the premiering stream, and I'll see you all in the next video.
Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!